Greetings everyone, it's me, Resler. Welcome back to Farthest Frontier. Let me pause for a minute. Sorry about last time. I was going back and I noticed that the game had cut out as we were approaching the spring time. Um, so luckily I saved shortly after as I closed down. So we're only about you've only missed about 6 minutes or so. Nothing has happened. Um, so to speak of. This is where we're at this point. This is where we were at then, and this is where we're at now. Um, into spring, with everything going on, and so to speak, like that. Something okay. So, anyways, so this is where we're at. This is our village, Ronak. We're at 21 people out of 40. We have quite a few houses actually, which is good. We have root cellar. We have this saw pit. We have the stockyard and such. And I think our next step, if I'm not mistaken, is to build the storehouse, which unlocks almost everything. But until then, we're trying to do a couple things. So we're going to build a fletcher. Actually, I'll unpause here. So people are chopping stuff down. We're going to build a fletcher next. And then we're going to build a compost yard. A compost yard is basically where the human waste goes. And then that can be used to fertilize fields, but it also just keeps people clean and also it's health concerns. But it also is a very undesirable thing, so wherever we build this is going to have to be somewhere that people don't really go, because it makes any location it's at undesirable. So, with good reason, I think we're going to build it out here. You don't want to put it too far away, but you don't want to put it too close either. Let's put it right here. That will be built eventually. So let's see here. We got wells. We got tons of logs, just not lots of sawing. And let's see. So you take a look at village refreshments. Got 10 labor, so we can add one more to here. Now, something about buildings here. In some City Builder Sims, you just click on these slots, so there's a plus next to the slot. The way you do it here is you go here. There's 2 out of 4, so you add another one. And we just had 2 new people integrate. That's nice. So we're just going to add another one like that. We have people here. Yeah. So, and then there are some buildings that you can increase. For example, the forager site is 1 person and 1 person only. If you press this plus button, nothing will happen. So we'll get 3 people and stuff with the saw pit. Something else I also learned is that these places out here, such as this hunting cabin or the foraging shack, the people who work there, they live there for a period of time. They go home every now and then to their house here. They have a house in town, but they spend most of their time there doing things. So while you don't need to build housing, you do need to build housing. They need a house, but they spend most of their time there. They don't go home every single day, which is why you can kind of get away with placing these places a little bit further away from the village because they live there. That's not true for everything. The compost yard is not somewhere where you live, but shacks and shelters, kind of like that, that's where they live. So, and then eventually you can get work camps. So, but like a firewood splitter or a saw pit, they don't live there. Overall happy is 96%. Now, you'll notice that the happier that your people are, and the more houses you have, the more likely you are to see births. So the more empty slots you have in houses like these, the more likely births are bound to happen. So, and the idea of having a lot of houses with empty slots is you have a house that's full. Can't find one. Initially, when we had the houses, they were full, and it's not very conducive for birth when there are 2 couples living in a house. So the more houses you have, the more couples can move out and be like this, you know, so that there's more privacy, and then that increases births too. So that's why you build up tons of extra houses. Even when everyone's housed, you want to have extra houses so people can live apart. and therefore you have empty slots, and therefore people have children. So it looks like, wow, they're really going to work on this. So I need 5 more pieces of wood. Let's harvest that, and that tree as well. So you need 5 more planks, and they're really going to work on these planks here. So I'm trying to get everything built up. Let's get the fletcher going. Before we go to the stockyard. Stockyard unlocks everything, and once you get to the stockyard, you really can't go anywhere. You know, you have a lot of things become available, so you want to try and get all the buildings that are critical built before you go all the way to the stockyard, so to speak. Sorry, not stockyard. We have a stockyard. It's right here. Storehouse. Because once you hit storehouse, lots of things unlike, like the market right here. That unlocks the towns. Well, town center, you don't need to do that, but eventually you're gonna get to tier 2. But we want to get everything going and producing. A smokehouse will actually be something that we'll build probably next to the compost yard too. A crop field, I think we'll do that. Looking around, crop fields seem to be quite amusing. What I've learned with crop fields in this game is that crop fields, you're really tempted to build one and then farm it right away, but there is something to be said about fertility, so to speak. Let's harvest that hawthorn. And so when you build a crop yard, actually just delete it, yeah. And delete that too. Now you notice that the delete thing is not, harvesting it. You harvest the thing, and then you go, okay, that's good. I'll come back next year and harvest it. Deleting it means cut it down, get rid of it completely. So you need to do that. You need to remove areas for crops. So, but I found crops here. One of the key things to do is to if you notice a small freeze in the game, it's because it was auto-saving. So a slight thing to do when you're cropping is to, and I found this out on my own personal playthrough, is it's good to plow. It's good not to expect anything from it the first year or so. Just plow it. Plow it, get rid of the rocks, do a bunch of things that improve its fertility, because the ground itself isn't super fertile right away. Actually, that's not hawthorn, is it? Yeah. Harvest it. Don't delete it. Deleting it means they chop it down. Harvesting it means they chop. Well, if it's fruit, they'll leave it be. But if it's a tree, harvesting it, they will chop it down. Let's harvest that one too. Actually, let's take a look at this. Where is our removal site? Where are we taking things from? Over here. Okay. Actually, let's leave. Let's leave that alone. We don't want to encroach too much because there's a hunter out here. She is hunting currently, so. Compost yard has been finished. So yeah, it's not pleasant. We're gonna build a smokehouse now. Smokehouses are also very undesirable. Not too far at all, okay. And let's see here. We got 2 empty houses, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, only one. We got plenty of empty slots for people. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, let's see, did they get this? They did get that sorted out, okay. So we're going to build a little bit more housing. Another house. New villager born. Where was that? Oh, here. Oh. A child. Davros. Davros. Yeah, people are happy, so. We have a lot. One of the reasons that we're happy is we got quite a bit of food. We got 5 minutes of food. And we're building things. And the smokehouse is finished. Wow, that was quick. Smokehouse, it's undesirable because of all the pollution and such, and probably the smells that it emits. But it makes your food last longer because they smoke it. It's a type of preserving food. It's kind of like the reason that we have the root cellar, which has nothing. But the root cellar, from what I understand, it takes time for it to work. But apparently, well, there is food in there. It just, yeah, that's the spoilage reduction mode. It hasn't done anything, but from what I've heard, eventually, as you get more and more food, and as you get more and more people producing things and food like that, eventually it gets to a point where where that number ticks up. You have tons of food, and the root cellar's helping. The reason the root cellar isn't doing anything right now is because, one, it's not working efficiently to a point, and the second reason is that it also we're going to build another fortress shack, by the way. And the second reason is that there's not enough food for it to really do anything with. So we're going to build it right here. Yeah. Yeah, somebody said don't worry about placing them near, necessarily near each other. Some of the, because berries and things like that is where animals fluctuate towards those. So if you have a fortress shack that has really good fertility, chances are that there are animals nearby. So we're going to go like this. So we can get extra food going on. Yeah, this is going to be finished real quick. Now, that's going to bring us down to 6 laborers with those two things. Now, you have to keep in mind, laborers are the people who chop things down and bring things to building sites. They even build things. They became builders because builders fluctuate. If there's a building need, they build, but if there isn't a building need, then they don't. And laborers carry things. So you need to have a healthy amount of laborers too. And as you get more of a population, you need more laborers and such, but you also need more professions. So it's a balancing act very much. And we're getting into late summer, so the crop field, we're going to have to hold off on the crop field for now. And currently, let's see here, got quite a few empty spots, or empty slots in these 2 houses. At least no one lives there by design. So, and then something else that I wanted to that I was going to show you guys this time is roads. So, you have these roads, but you can upgrade the roads when you click on the road. You say upgrade, but you don't want to upgrade all the roads because it costs stone. But you want to upgrade certain roads, because certain roads, you know, they move faster on. So you want to update like main drags or high traffic areas. So like maybe around the town center, but like these side roads off like the, you know, in between the houses. Not necessarily, but maybe down the main drag of houses. So we're gonna start upgrading some roads. So we're gonna start with this road right here. Upgrade. And then we're gonna upgrade all around the town center. Entire. If I can click the road, come on. Here we go. And that road, and this section of road, and that section of road. So they'll start working on this. It actually goes pretty quick. So, oh. So I'm going to wait for them to finish this section, that part of the road, and then we'll move on. So, gosh, we got a lot of wood stock planks. Fletcher is complete. The Fletcher increases, allows your hunters to be more efficient. So, see, like it said, the hunter there is seeking weapons. The hunter is going to get a bow and arrows from the Fletcher. So, yeah, I know a bowyer usually makes a bow, but you know, details. So that's what the road looks like upgraded. It becomes a stone road. So if you have a lot of stone, which we do, or you have a lot of stockpiles of stone, which also we do, then, or a lot of stone slated to be gathered, which also coincidentally, not coincidentally, which also that we have in terms of resource. That's the thing. Gonna put an explorer flag out here so we can have a look at a bit of lay of the land as we continue. Let's put an explorer flag here too. Now the explorer flags, as you no doubt probably noticed last time, you have to be careful because as we venture deeper into the wilderness, you know, kind of like we're going to be encroaching on habitats of animals, predators, so to speak, that will attack. So, and that can happen. So, but you do want to explore and be responsible about it with your villagers, but also make sure that you explore certain areas, certain places and such, so that you know what you're getting into if you send somebody out there to do something. So let's harvest that resource. How's the fishing? Let's also harvest those rocks. Actually, let's remove that because they might use that. There are certain things that your villagers will use, and a rock might be something they stand on to fish, and that actually is I found out, a actual thing. So you have to keep that in mind, and I think it's time to build another well in this area. Yeah, put it right there. I think we have 2 or 3 wells. Wells are essential, I found out, for fires. Fires can be very real danger that your denizens can experience. Things catch fire. This wagon, by the way, is a mobile storage cart. You can move it. It does not have to stay there. It's good to move if you don't have a stockyard nearby. In fact, move it there. Actually, I'm going to move it right here for now. A more centralized location. Right here. So, a lot of people drop things off here, but you want to be able to kind of move on from the wagon. The wagon's good to start, and it's good to have near the town center. But eventually it's good to just put it somewhere that's kind of near where things are gathered, and it is starting to get cold. And you want people to recognize the stockyard and the storehouse as the places to go to get things. So, and the way you do that is you put things like nearby. For example, these guys, and you don't want to conflict people, because these guys might have thought, well, where do we put the firewood? Do we put it there or there? This is closer, but this is central. Now they'll put it here because that's closer. So, winter. This is where predators can be dangerous as they get hungry and venture towards places of warmth and food. And our village would be one of those places. See, our firewood that was at 430 is now down at 380, and luckily we have tons of firewood, and we have really good firewood splitters. And I was looking up some information. Apparently your villagers, certain people, will not do their jobs very well. So it is a good idea to make sure that people are working. Like, for example, this person isn't able to work right now. Makes sense. Everything's frozen over. But if it's, early summer and there's tons of berries around and they're not working because they say they're unable to work, well, then it's time to find a different gatherer, because that obviously, should not be happening. Okay, they thought that. Let's upgrade this main drag and this. And this part of it too. And that area too. You don't want to put too many like faraway jobs during the winter. You want to keep them localized. I mean, you can place them, but don't have them building them, because they will get cold. But these jobs right next to the houses and such are really, really good, because you're keeping the area productive, but at the same time, if they need to duck in and get warm, they can. What are you doing? Trying to grab this citizen. See what this citizen's doing. Gosh. There we go. She is a night soil collector. Oh, she's the she does waste. She's collecting waste. Okay. A lot of howling going on. Harvest those rocks. And those. And we are in late winter here in year 2. It's cold and there's a light breeze. You can hear it. No clay, no brick, no gold. Now, you'll see symbols on the ground for some of these things as we get further along. Like there's a patch of herbs, but let me see if I can find what I wanted to show you. Logs, nuts. You can see all these symbols on the ground mean something, like bird's nest. That's where they're getting those eggs from. Let's see if I can find one here. I am not having very much luck finding what I'm trying to show you. Somewhere around here. I promise you, I know what I'm doing and know what I'm looking for. I just, well, we'll get there. There are, you'll see certain areas that will say like, oh, iron ore or something like that is here. And that looks like an animal. A boar, okay. Okay, so let's place that crop field down before we build the storehouse. So, this is pretty fertile ground, but you do want to make sure. Now, in most things you can do 10 by 10. In this game, no. You do not want to do 10 by 10. That is just asking for problems. 5 by 5 or 6 by 5 is a pretty good size. So, you get 6 by 1, which is too small. So let's jump it out here. We'll go 6 by... I'll go 6 by 6. So they're going to work on this now. And fields in this game, they take some time to build. I'm trying to figure out why I can't build this straight up. Huh. Must be terrain. Okay. Now, farming takes a lot of work. So these people, are they farmers? Yes. So yeah, the way farms work in this game when it comes to building them is you get a farm and people come as farmers, right? And that's how it's built. They get the land in the farmable shape, so they dig up all the plants and everything like that. Clearing the area, I've heard, is a pretty good idea, you know, because you clear everything. But at the same time, you don't want to necessarily, but at the same time, there's a school of thought that I read that you don't necessarily want to clear the area right away, because clearing the area means that you get rid of all that you can essentially get rid of like some of the good fertility in the area. You're going to have to plow the land regardless, probably, to get rid of certain things. But if you clear the area, you can actually decrease the fertility in this game. So clearing the area is good for certain buildings, but not for farms necessarily. We're going to upgrade this entire road. Now that you've built it, upgrade it. It's like a job building it, but you're not done yet. Houses you have, the more immigration that you encourage, actually. Now, tier 2, you get temporary shelters. So you have shelter and you have temporary shelter. Now, temporary shelter, yeah. shelter is something you build out here, because eventually we'll have, where is it? Not the basket shop. Cannery, cobbler shop. Work camp. So, what's that the carcass of? Anyways, work camps are things, so you see how we have all these resources slated to be gathered. Let's get those two. A little more. So, save, autosave. So you'll see, we have all these, you put a work camp right here, and the work camp will get the things automatically. And then you build temporary shelter so that they can just go, so they put food there, they can just sleep there, and then they'll go. So a temporary shelter is not actually a house replacement. It's not like you could build temporary shelters here. Build temporary shelters out there. They eventually do fall apart from what I heard. And that's kind of how the things go. You just kind of let them fall apart. So they are, so you see 1,368, you know, you see those numbers when they're working on it. That's what they're working on. This field won't be ready. You click on the farm, it's still a builder site. It won't be finished anytime soon. So you can prioritize it, which there is a school thought that that's a good idea. Actually, let's do that. Let's prioritize it, get more people building this. Because why builders do build this, do help, it's mostly a farming job at this point. The winds have died down and a period of sweltering heat has set in that could last for weeks. Ensure that your tenant has adequate water supplies. Villagers will need to draw more water from wells, crops, especially those sensitive to heat. Yeah, so there is that to think about. In fact, let's build a well, one more well. And let's put it over here. Right there. New villager born. Nice. They had a child in the house next to them, so it's kind of like somebody was like, they got the idea, and we had some immigrants, so that's good. So we got 6 laborers. And most of the resources are producing pretty well, actually. We're doing a pretty good job. I think when we have some more free laborers, we'll probably want to up it to, keep 7 around, but maybe add another person to the fletching. So farmers are working on this. Yeah, fields are slow-going affairs. Where's the fire? Like that guy's running for some reason. I also was told that stockyards are good. It's good to have more than one eventually because they get full, and it's good to build them spread out. So that will be something that we will do, that we will handle later on. So how's the hunting going? Yeah, and certain buildings upgrade. Like, you might think, well, why can't like, is it, like, are, like, are there not better houses? There are. You upgrade the build. Some buildings you don't build like a better version. You just upgrade the building that you have. So that, these things can upgrade. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them can. Like the hunting cabin can be upgraded. But a lot of the things that it needs, most of the buildings, almost all of them, need this to be upgraded first. And so to upgrade the town center, you need 8 shelters. Check. You need a market. We don't have that. We'll get that. You need these. We got those. But you need, yeah, but you need 30 people. And we only got 26 currently. So we're not doing too bad, mind you. Don't get me wrong, but we're just not there yet. So I want to build the storehouse. In fact, I'm going to place the storehouse, but we're not going to build it. I want to get that crop finished for the crop area finished first. So the storehouse will go right. I believe it has an arrow, does it not? Okay. We're gonna build it right here. Yeah. But we're going to do that and then pause it. So. Because I want to get the field finished first. And the field actually will go quick. You see they're clearing out the other plants and such. But I've noticed with fields, once they clear out the initial plants and things, and they've got basically it down to a field, then it actually gets pretty quick. So it's just the initial plants take a long time. Now you see people strolling from there. These are the foragers and the hunters that are coming back, or well, the smoker. I don't know what he's doing over there. But these are people coming back from their job out there. You are a laborer. Okay, so that he was. So some of them were gathering food. Others were actually working out there. So. So now what they're doing with the field here is their initial plow. So turning it into a field. And let's see here. So I want to get another house built. Let's put it right next to the field, actually. Desirability when it comes to houses, have a couple things. Nature around it, that's why I don't clear so much around houses. Accessibility to a road, and then basic services like how far it is from the market. So a market right here, or up in this area maybe, would be or even down here would be a beneficial area. You want to put the market nearby, because if they have really basic access to a market, they're happy. So, and it's desirable, and you can upgrade the houses, more desirability because people are living there. So having a bunch of empty houses can be bad, but also good at the same time. In fact, I think we're going to upgrade this road too, since it is a main thoroughway. So markets are big buildings, though. I mean, they're not. It's not like. I mean, it says market stall, but it's more like marketplace. Teen villager showed up, and another villager was born. People are having babies, and that's a good thing. Did they already have one? If they had a kid. They do. They have two. Well, okay, so there's the mom. In 2016, you've had two children. Where's your husband? So, of course, then again, you don't have to be married. I understand. Progressive. Which begs the question: who is the father of those children? Is it the same guy? And which house does he live in, and why is he not living in your house? I mean, it's not like it's not like he can. There's like a big city job waiting for him. No one left. People immigrated, people immigrated. Nobody sort of emigrated. It's a weird word. I'm not sure if it's even a word. Promise I know things. I just vocabulary isn't used very much. I guess would be the way I'm saying you don't use emigrate very much. Immigration is used all the time in today's world, so no one leaves alive. That's my policy when I play the game Tropico. People are leaving though. You're not going anywhere. You're born on the island and you die on the island, and once you come to the island, you're not going anywhere. Field is almost completed. Now, certain crops take a certain amount of time, and such, and so there are certain things to think about and schedule out, so to speak. And you can schedule you schedule 3 years in the field, and then it just loops those 3 years. So, and so it's good, I found out, to plow every now and then. Or to plow at the end of the season. But from what I heard, the first thing you want to do, of course, fertility is different. The fertility is really high, maybe grow right away, but they said it's not a bad idea to plow, to get rid of the rocks, get rid of the clay, and just make the field more and more suitable. Now, there is a thought process that, what is with the running places? Man, the saws, they just love running. Get back to the hut and start cutting wood, people. People with tools are dangerous. So. Let's get another fletcher working. And another one. So you have 8 laborers, right? Good. gold. Anybody say, well, how do you get gold? Let me see. Get gold, I think that's by building a trading area. People come to trade, and you trade extra things that you have, like firewood, or food, or whatever resource it is that you can trade that they'll buy, and that's how you get gold. Happiness is pretty high. Same game again. So, I think once this is completed, we'll get the storehouse built. And they're almost there. So they're right on the cusp of finishing that. We're at 72 now. I also would encourage you guys to grab this game too. It's currently still being developed, but it's pretty much done at this point. It's available on Steam. You can get it there. Yeah, Farthest Frontier. It's really well done. I remember watching it as it was being crops ready for assignment. So you take a look at this. So here you look at. So we got 82% fertility, which is amazing. But there's a weed level. So you click here, and this is where it is. So plowing. There's a chance to reduce weed levels and remove rocks from the fields, and there is some rockiness. So we're going to have them plow. And then there's clovers. There's lots of different things. So already over. So you can have them. Yeah. So you want to have them plow. So the first year, this will be the first year they'll do. So they'll plow. Then let's see, we'll have them grow carrots. Carrots are good. And then wheat, right? No, okay. There are certain things that happen later on in the year that you want to grow. I think cabbage can be done after that. No, okay. Rye, no. What about beans? No. Beans? Black? No. Wheat? No. In the year 2, we'll get carrots and wheat. And then year 3, we'll do rye and cabbage. Whoops. So what I'm going to do is we go like that. I'm going to wait. Because year one, it's currently this year. It will count this year, and I want I want to start it fresh, so to speak. So we're going to wait on that for now. Oh, they're all going to cap this one. I'm gonna say you're not all going to pick up waste for fertilizing, are you? Because I'm not sure that's the 1 month of food storage. Some kind of game, have you? It's the same. Okay. Let's see if I can find things. You know what? This is nearby, and it's within there, so let's get it built. While we wait for the winter to pass. So the storehouse finished. Wow, the planks are really going. 147 planks. And I think this requires logs. Well, we're definitely at the 30 population. The only thing we need is a market now. To build a market, and in order to build a market, we need to build a storehouse. And you start construction on the storehouse. What I do like about this game is it's very much Banished in terms of things, but what makes it different from Banished is certain buildings lead to certain buildings. But on top of that, on top of more of that, you know, the game does suggest, you know, getting a barn, you know, as livestock rolls around, and you know, well, for livestock as hunting eventually becomes just, you know, no, you know, and we're on the year. Here we go. Get to plowing, people. Yeah, get to plowing. And then we'll get carrots, and can we get, not pea, but turnips? Yeah. And we'll get turnips a little bit after carrots. And then the second year we'll have, second year we'll have wheat and carrots. In the third year we'll have cabbage. There we'll have rye now. Not clover. How about peas? Yeah. Alright, that's peas, yeah. Oh, beans. Well, beans, yeah. So they're going to plow it to reduce the weeds. The weed level is what makes me worrisome the most. So